All right. Welcome everyone to ALASC's Fall 2024 Around the World Library Tour. This will be our last event of the semester, so thank you if you come out to any of our other events this semester. And the way this event is going to work is the first half, we're going to look at we're going to do a virtual tour of some libraries around the world, and we'll take a look at them. And then on the second half of the event, we are being joined by Loida Garcia-Febo, and she is an international librarian who works with IFLA. So she'll be telling us about her experience as an international librarian and answering any questions that you all might have. So without further ado, we'll get started with the first half of the event. And our itinerary, there are going to be 5 libraries that I'll be covering during the first half of our tour. So let's see what the first library is. First up, this is the some images from the first library. Does anyone want to try to guess where this library might be located? You can put your answers in the chat. I do see the correct answer in the chat already. So this is India, and it is the Delhi Public Library. So the Delhi Public Library was established in 1951, so it's quite an old library. It is part of a very large network of libraries that serve the Delhi area, and the network is composed of mobile libraries, braille libraries, deposit stations, which are like book pickup stations that are located at different locations around the city. So like a children's house at different locations around a jail and more. So there's a very wide network that the library is composed of to try to reach people in all areas of the city and in the rural and underserved areas. If we go to the library website, so this is the Delhi Public Library's website, and then if you go to network and hours, you can actually see like a map of their network. So they have a lot of different branches as described here, and there are different zones that the library serves. So this is like a very extensive map. Okay, and then we'll take a look at this video that kind of will give a brief tour of the library's interior.
Welcome to Delhi Public Library. The Delhi Public Library was established in 1951 by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. The library was inaugurated by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru on 27 October 1951. Since then, it has been developed into a premier public library system in the country, covering the entire metropolitan city. At present, the public library is functioning under the administrative control of the Ministry of Culture, Government of India. Its headquarters is located in Chandni Chowk, opposite Old Delhi Railway Station. The library network consists of a central library, 4 branch libraries, 18 sub-branch libraries, 1 community library, 7 resettlement colony libraries, 1 braille library, 106 mobile library services points, including 18 braille mobile library points and 28 book reading rooms in the Union Territory of Delhi NCR. Delhi Public Library provides free library services to the children and adults, irrespective of any distinction of sex, caste, creed, and religion. Delhi Public Library also looks after their recreational needs to the harness of the latent potential of the members of the public by providing a suitable platform for socio-cultural activities. On entrance, we have a very good place reserved for reception area, which provides supports on a range of services from circulation to questions about literature searching, reference management, and so on. We have computer lab where computer services are provided to students. Generally, user must follow a certain user policy to retain access to the computers. This usually consists of rules such as no illegal activity during use or attempts to circumvent any security or content control software while using the computers. Computer labs are often subject to time limits. This is to allow more people have a chance to use the lab. The computer in computer labs are typically equipped with internet access, scanners, and printers, and are typically arranged in rows. Delhi Public Library gyms offer a variety of cardio and strength training equipment as well as group exercise programs. Delhi Public Library provides a wide range of books, journals, and other reading material in Hindi, English, Urdu, Punjabi, and other Indian languages for everyone. Whatever your reading taste, library stocks consist of 16 lakh books on variety of subjects, including books for competitive examinations, computer science, information technology, philosophy, religion, Hinduism, social science, economics, political science, international relations, language and linguistics, science, physics, chemistry, zoology, botany, medical science, engineering, literature, fiction, history, geography, etc. the library has been expanding its services as a center for dissemination of knowledge, information and culture. It is increasingly felt that the library should not merely serve as a center for lending books, but should also grow as a robust organization devoted to promoting intellectual pursuit and create community rapport among its readers. Delhi Public Library provides the following facilities to the public. Issuing books and reading materials to its members is the main service of every library. 1,65,854 registered members are availing the services from Delhi Public Library. References librarian in the reference section is here to help and provide you the information you need. The reference librarian can also help the readers in locating materials in library collection and use a variety of reference books and other references tools on various subjects. For example, education and training, vocation study and guidance, admission to education institutions, employment, etc. Reference sections holds all kind of references material, including dictionaries, encyclopedias, directories, etc. Every year, new references tools are added to the reference section. The mobile library services was started in the year 1953 to cater the needs of the people living in the rural areas and new colonies of Delhi due to expansions of the city. Libraries providing library services at the doorsteps of the readers through mobile vans. At present, Delhi Public Library is operating 9 mobile vans in 106 areas in the National Capital Territory of Delhi. 6,319 registered members are availing library services from the mobile library vans. Delhi Public Library has its own video conferencing room equipped with rich and highly technology equipment, and this room generally uses for online and offline meetings where participants can see, hear and talk to each other in real time. No matter where in the world they are, Delhi Public Library has one seminar hall and auditorium in its Delhi headquarters, and these seminar halls and auditoriums are equipped with high technology equipment, which helps audience to hear and watch live performances.
Okay, so I just wanted to show that video to give like a general overview of what the library looks like, and it showcased some of the services that they have. So there are mobile library services, like I mentioned. They have a computer lab. Even though it's an older building, they're definitely making work of what they have, and it's pretty cool that they even have a gym for their community inside the library. So that was our first stop, taking a look at the Delhi Public Library in India. And then we're going to go on to our next stop. And this is a picture from the second library. So again, you can type in the chat what library you think this is or where it's located. I see a lot of guests for like European countries. I will say that it is located in the Southern Hemisphere. Okay, no one guessed the country yet, but it is in South America. So this is actually in Colombia. This is the Luis Ángel Arango Library in Bogota, Colombia. It was established in 1958. So this one is also a library on the older side. It is part of the Banco de la República network, which is like a network of cultural heritage sites and museums and banks that are all part of that network. So this library is part of that network. And the library itself includes a cafeteria, a concert hall, art exhibits, and various other community and like recreational spaces. So it's a very multi-purpose building. And it has a lot of functions outside of just being a library. So we'll take a look at a video that shows some of the features of this library as well. So it's been around for almost 100 years, and this video was for the 100th anniversary.
Además de los 7 museos del oro en todo el país, la Red Cultural del Banco de la República tiene 21 bibliotecas públicas, 5 centros de documentación regional y 3 áreas de consulta remota. Las bibliotecas son espacios de intercambio, no solo en cada lugar, sino a nivel nacional. Los préstamos viajan de ciudad a ciudad y, adicionalmente, se conectan en espacios fuera de las bibliotecas, en territorios, junto con comunidades, en escuelas o espacios comunitarios. Como parte de esa red, la Luis Ángel Arango en Bogotá, inaugurada en 1958, se ha convertido en un pilar de esa transferencia. Gracias a la gestión del gerente del Banco de la República de esa época, Luis Ángel Arango, quien asignó un presupuesto para el edificio, no solo se creó la biblioteca, también una sala de exposiciones de arte y una sala de conciertos.
En este momento tenemos 22 bibliotecas en el país, más 5 centros de documentación. Esto es lo que forma la red de bibliotecas. Todas tienen una sala infantil, todas tienen una sala de adultos, todas tienen una colección básica en todos los temas y desde todas uno puede pedir prestado cualquier libro de la inmensa colección que tiene el banco que allá se le llega. Entonces es una red muy bien conformada de bibliotecas, todas distintas, atienden públicos distintos, ellas mismas van creando su vocación, pero en últimas el servicio es igualitario en todo el país.
Yo creo que el banco garantiza a través de esto como una infraestructura regional que funciona, que tiene unos criterios de calidad, que responde a las comunidades. Entonces genera una sostenibilidad cultural en territorios que de otra manera no existiría.
El impacto de la red de redes que ha tendido el banco es la de seguir proporcionando a Colombia la posibilidad de tejerse y destejerse con cada acto cultural, con cada elemento de creación cultural, con cada elemento de conservación del patrimonio cultural. Colombia se ha tejido a puntos de cultura, de las muchas culturas que hay en el país, y lo que hace el Banco de la República es ofrecer a los ciudadanos de las diferentes regiones las agujas para que sigan tejiendo la historia del país.
Okay, so the video showed some of the cool features and services that the library offers. It serves as a national archive for the Colombian history as well. And one of the cool services that were highlighted in the video that I want to show, oh, I don't want to spoil, okay. So we go to the library website here. Under their services, you can see the different services that the library offers. And one of the ones that was highlighted in the video is actually their traveling suitcases right here. So this is like a program where they have suitcases filled with books, and they send these to other locations, and they can be loaned out to other areas of the community. That way, kids in underserved areas are able to get access to books. So I thought that was a cool part of their library services. Okay, so we've looked at a library in India and in Colombia, and our next stop, you can take a guess where this library might be. So someone kind of got it. It's not in Dubai, but it is in Qatar. So this is the Qatar National Library. And this one is a more modern library. It was opened in April 2018, and it's a very multi-purpose facility. So it actually serves as a national library for the country. It is also a university research library because it is located in Education City, which is like an educational and research hub in the city of Doha, where there are a lot of different colleges. So there are like at least 6 different universities in that area where this library is located. So it serves as a research library for an additional research library for all of those universities. And then it also serves a third purpose as just being a central public library for the general public and families that might live in the area. So I did want to showcase some of the cool things that are on the library's website. So on the Qatar National Library's website, because it is a multi-purpose library, one of the cool things is that they make like libguides to online resources. So like for children's resources, they had one for young adults as well, and then resources for parents and educators. They also have a national archive for, let's see, yeah, like a heritage library, where it has information about the history of the country and local history. And then one of the other cool things that the library has is that they have an annual report where they detail some of the things that they do every year. So if you're interested in seeing what kinds of services that the library has. I think this is a really cool thing to read through. One of the things that I saw when I was reading through their 2023 report is that they had a seminar on AI in a very large lecture hall, and it was attended by many, many people. It might not load here. It's going to take a long time. But yeah, so those are the cool things that the Qatar National Library has. And then there is also another video that briefly shows the design of the building. All right. So that was the Qatar National Library. We're going to go on to our fourth stop on the tour. And I actually did see some guesses earlier about the country that this one was located in. Yes, someone earlier had guessed that there was a library in Denmark. So this is actually a library in Denmark. This is the Dock One Library in Denmark. This is also a more modern library. It opened in June 2015, and this one is also a very multi-purpose building. It serves as a government building, a public library, and a culture center. It has a lot of different facilities inside, like a cafe, there's an outdoor playground, and the reason it's called Dock One is because it is located right on the dock of the city. So there is a video that shows what the building looks like. So that gave a little look into the interior of the library. One of the things that wasn't really fully showcased, I think, in the video was the outdoor playground. So this shows some like conceptual pictures of the playground that's on the outside of the library. So it circles the outside of the library, and there are 5 different play areas. And on the library website, it says right here that each one represents a specific continent, and then there are different play options. So I think that's a really cool way that the library incorporates a playground on the outside so that kids can get that social learning experience as well as coming to the library to learn how to read. So these are some of the different pictures of the play areas. There's like a giant eagle that they can play on. There's like a savanna looking playground. So that's pretty cool. Okay, and then lastly, so we just took a look at Doc 1 in Denmark, and then we will go on to the final library. So if anyone has any guesses about what the final stop might be, and you might have already guessed by now that there is one library for each continent. All right, I see some guesses for African countries. And someone saw my browser tab, yeah. So it is in Ghana. This is the Accra Central Library in Ghana. And this one is also an older library. It was established around the same time as the Delhi Public Library and the Luis Angel Arango Library. So it was established in 1956. And it is part of the Ghana Library Authority Network, which is unique, I think, in the sense that the library network serves the entire country of Ghana instead of a specific region. So I wanted to, again, share my screen. And so each library itself doesn't have its own website, but the library network has its own website that encapsulates all the services they have. And on the location finder, sorry, my computer is kind of slow. Yeah, you can see that it serves the whole country. So they divide their branches up into the different locations across the country. And there are many branches across the country. So some of the services that they offer are like technology classes to teach the community how to use technology. They just implemented a library of things, which is covered in their blog if you want to read more about that. And they also have a mobile library that goes out to, again, more rural and underserved areas of the community to bring them books and educational resources. So if you want to read more about the mobile library, I'm not going to try to open it because my computer will probably take forever to load it, but the mobile library end of report for their 2021 year is here. And then I will show some videos that show the different sections of the Accra Central Library. So that's the central location for the library network. And there are a lot of different rooms in there, like the children's library, the reference library. They have a internet and computer technology section.
Hello, welcome to the Children's Library. Accra Central Children's Library is a static library that offers information services to the general public. It is important children visit the library in order to enhance their reading skills and vocabularies. Here, children are able to meet, discuss books, values, and aspirations. At the Children's Library, we provide extra support for children with reading disabilities. Children who are registered have the opportunity to borrow 3 books for 2 weeks at a time. Reading gives children knowledge, confidence, and opportunities. Children who haven't been here should come access the services we provide and the books we have. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you at Accra Central Children's Library.
Welcome to the Reference Library. Here at the Reference Library, you can come and study all day. The Reference Library is a center for the dissemination of information to the general public. Come to Reference Library because we have amazing historical and educational materials for you. We have government publications such as the Gazettes, Executive Instruments, the Legislative Instruments, Local Government Bulletins, and others. Averagely, 80 people visit the library a day. Thanks for watching. We would like to see you at the Reference Library.
All right, and then finally, we'll take a look at their computer.
So welcome to the ICT library in Accra Central. Here we have over 25 computers for the general public to use. So we teach basic, intermediate, and advanced. So here we do training for both adults and children who are learning how to use the computers. Here you can learn how to browse, send and receive emails. We teach basic coding and of course the Microsoft suites. So the ICT library gives you the opportunity to communicate to anybody around the world. We have a range of people coming here. We have architects, we have graphic designers, we have video editors, project managers. We have all sorts of people coming to the library. And of course, we welcome any first-time visitors to the library. Thank you very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you at the ICT library.
Okay. So that wraps up our tour. We visited the Delhi Public Library in India, the Luis Angel Arango Library in Colombia, the Qatar National Library, Dock 1 in Denmark, and the Accra Central Library in Ghana. So now I will move on to the second portion of the event, and I'm sure you've all been waiting to hear from her. We will have a speaker session led by Loida Garcia-Febo, and a little bit about Loida. She is Puerto Rican. She is an international librarian with the International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions, or IFLA. And she was also the 2018-2019 past president of the American Library Association, or ALA. And now she is also currently the San José State University iSchool Health and Wellness Ambassador. So I will hand things over to Loida, and she can introduce herself and talk about what she has to share with us today. Thank you, Loida, for joining us and giving us your time.
Hola, hello everyone. I'm so glad to be with you today, and I am delighted to see so many of the libraries I have visited featured tonight. I can say that the one Kat mentioned from Aarhus, Denmark, I was there when they gave us a tour of the library, when there were just the blueprints and some of the models for what became the library, and then I went when the library opened. So it's so cool. All right, so I'm going to share my here my screen. Okay, great. Some libraries that I have visited, actually, before I go here, I'd like to share with you some libraries I have visited, because I was reading your comments on libraries that you liked, and I have one of my favorite libraries in the world, so I'd like to share with you. Let me see, what is it? Okay, here it is. This library is in St. Gallen, is a town or a city in Switzerland, and is beautiful. I hope you can see part of it. This is the website. And the colors in the actual library is even more majestic than what you can see here. When you walked in, you need to leave your shoes at the entrance and wear special slippers. You cannot take pictures. You cannot touch anything. You cannot sit either. Just stand there. And we were able to go to the second floor and walk around those kind of verandas there. It's a very different experience. And here is another take. This is the top part of the library. It's absolutely breathtaking. Let me see if I see another one. Oh, this is another shot of that library. So this is my favorite library in the world. It's not open for everyone. And I also wanted to show some other libraries. Some of my favorite other libraries are in Germany. This is Stuttgart Public Library, maybe an hour or so from Berlin to the south. Let me just show another one here that I really liked. Oh, this one is the top outside part of the library of a university in Delft, the Netherlands. It's pretty cool. All this green helps with the energy. And that's pretty much what I wanted to share. Someone mentioned this one, Trinity College. It really is amazing. And when IFLA had the Congress there in Dublin in 2022, we had a reception there for the officers. And so it's pretty neat. But now let's go to my presentation. I have been doing international library work for a long time, actually. I'm not that old, but I started to do this when I was just right out of library school. So I have served on the International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions, and they are based in The Hague in the Netherlands. And the acronym is read IFLA. I have been in the board for 3 terms, 2 terms that ended in 2017, and now I am again as chair of the IFLA Management of Library Associations section. This is the session where all library associations in the world that are members of IFLA, which is our top association, all library associations members of IFLA are members by default of this section, Management of Library Associations, and I am chair of this. And it's a 2-term chairship, and I will go for a 2nd term. I have also served as chair of the International Relations Committee of ALA and the International Relations Roundtable, which is a different body linked to the committee. I am currently the chair of the ALA United Nations subcommittee because it's under the International Relations Committee, and that's the structure. But I have been advocating for libraries at the United Nations for 10 years now, and I have also advocated for libraries at the European Union Parliament. I have taught in 46 countries, and so I'm happy to answer any questions you may have about international librarianship in a moment. I just wanted to share with you a little bit of my work as chair of the Management of Library Associations. We have 21 members. The chair is always a member of the IFLA governing board, and we have many members. Here is our report. It's like a newsletter, but it's really a report. And
Loida, sorry to interrupt, but we can't see your slides.
No?
It's still showing the web page with the library pictures.
Oh, how strange. Okay. So I am sharing my screen and I am moving the slides. And so I don't know what is the situation. Let me see if I can do it again. All right, let's see. If I am here and I move my slide, do you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Now you're good.
All right. So I don't know what was that, but that's good. Okay, let me just go back. All right. So this is what I mentioned earlier, that some of the international work that I've done. And if you're going to have the presentation, then you can come back to this. Let me know if they don't move. Okay, so this is the Management of Library Association section. And this is part of our members. And this was in Rotterdam during our meeting on 2023. IFLA didn't have a Congress this year, and so we didn't meet in person. And this is our report. You are welcome to access it. It's on the Management of Library Association's website within IFLA. You just Google IFLA, MLAS. And this year we have some initiatives. They have to do with 5 priority areas. Information integrity is a term that the United Nations is using as a positive term. They have called this a positive term to include fake news, mistrust, post-truth, and those terms. Since we are all about building strong library associations, that's in our charge, We also have priority areas as library advocacy, financial sustainability, membership retention, and strategic planning, all very important for library associations. And our initiatives under the Building Strong Library Associations include web events, there I have a typo, mentorship that we're going to match library associations with different library associations depending on their needs, and some events. And so far this year, we had a midterm conference in Astana, Kazakhstan. That was in May, and it was spectacular. And it was together with the Nazarbayev University and the association, the Library Association in Kazakhstan. And we also had a joint conference with the Lebanon Library Association. And the annual conference of the Lebanon was together with management of library associations, and it was all about digital preservation of cultural heritage. You are very aware, I think the entire world is aware of the big conflicts happening in the region, and everyone is very concerned about the digital preservation because it's the way in which they can preserve the cultural heritage. And so we collaborated and presented the annual conference with them, as well as the annual conference in Kazakhstan. We also collaborated with the Croatian Library Association to present an advocacy event in May. And then just last week, I was there in Croatia for their Croatian Library Association annual conference. And we presented a program together with them on strategic planning, not only for library associations, but for, the core concepts to help them. And then in the future, we also presented a conference in Mexico with other 6 IFLA sections. And the main topic was intellectual freedom or freedom of expression. That was in August. And so this is an example of some of the work being done this year. But I wanted to also show other work. Let me see if I can go back. Okay. We did, I'm trying to move something that I see on my screen. Okay, yeah. So we did in 2022, we started a webinar series with different regions of the world. And IFLA has 6 regions that are on the screen: North America, South America, Europe, Asia, and Oceania. They merged them. MENA, which is Middle East and North Africa. It's around this region here, and the Sub-Saharan Africa. And so we did webinars with these regions of the world around the topic of library associations and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And there are summaries about this topic on our website, and so you're welcome to look at them. And we also, in 2023, did another webinar series, again, with all the regions of the world around the topics of, here, I want to show the, around the topic of empowering library leaders and diversity worldwide. And these are on the YouTube channel of the IFLA new special interest group, New Professionals. And these are students and new librarians. And IFLA has a group for them. It's a special interest group. And you're welcome to visit their YouTube. They are on Instagram, Facebook, and X. And I established that group many years ago. And so there is an international forum for new librarians and students. And this here is the series that I mentioned about Sustainable Development Goals and library associations. And I want to mention just in a moment, what are the Sustainable Development Goals. But before, I want to show that besides the work that I'm sharing with you about the IFLA Management of Library Association section, I really started my international work with ALA. And when I was president of ALA, I was invited to the European Union Parliament to a libraries day that the European librarians hold every year. And I think this was the second time they did it, or the first time. And so I want to say it was the first time because they were training all the librarians that day. But I was invited there. That's me there. And exhibit. I brought an exhibition from ALA about library advocacy. And this is a time where they go and visit the representatives from different countries and advocate for libraries. And I gave the opening speech of that day at the European Union Parliament Library. And many of the MPs attended that. So that's great when we can secure support from elected officials. I have also, as I mentioned, had advocated at the United Nations for many years. And these pictures are from this year, from the high-level political forum. This is a forum that the UN hosts every summer around July, and it's about different topics. This year, it was about the Sustainable Development Goals, which are 17 goals, and I'm going to show them in a moment. Here they are, and they were established in, they were approved by the United Nations General Assembly on September 2015 during the General Assembly, but established and started on the 1st of January 2016. I was there for those times as well, representing libraries. And these are 17 goals that countries around the world, all countries around the world, follow to develop their different systems and also to preserve life on land and life below water, like goal 14 and 17, 14 and 15 there. And so the purpose is to not leave anyone behind and make sure that our world continues moving forward in a sustainable way and development is achieved. And this is the first program that libraries presented at the United Nations, and I presented that program. It was together with journalists, because we are information intermediaries, and that's how the UN classified journalists and librarians, information intermediaries. And so we were talking about the data revolution needed to continue moving the world forward. And these other pictures, one of the chambers at the UN, and more pictures, different chambers. You will notice they have almost the same shape, but some of them are bigger, some are smaller. And this is the page from the ALA task force. And the task force came before the subcommittee, but I wanted to show it to you because you can visit this page and read our one-pager, look at the different charts that we have on the site, and you can see the relation between the goals and the different library services that we provide every day. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just have to make the connection. And we are helping the world in our communities. You can also download one of the charts. They're all free, and you can add logos from your library, customize it as you wish. I also wanted to show that we also developed some bookmarks, and they are free and available if you want to download it, print them out your library logo, phone numbers, anything you want. As you have noticed now, I have transitioned to the ALA SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals Subcommittee. It has a very long name. It's the ALA International Relations Committee, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals Subcommittee. But we just abbreviate it as the ALA United Nations. We did a program, and we have done many programs during the high-level political forum at the United Nations last year and this year, and during the General Assembly last year and this year. But I wanted to highlight this program because it's around AI, and we had many experts from around the world sending us a video, 5 minutes video, or presenting for 5 minutes about topics, for instance, AI and sustainability, AI and public libraries, AI and academic libraries, or AI and copyright and legal matters. Or, for instance, Dr. Chow, the director of the school here at San Jose State University, he presented on AI and LIS education, which is, librarianship. And so the recording is available, and you can go to our site and grab that link. We also this is the program that we presented during the United Nations General Assembly this year. It was on September 21st. It was a Saturday. We did it at the New York Public Library, and we had the representative from the Permanent Mission of Ireland, and that's how the representatives and the countries that are members of the UN are called permanent missions. So we had the Permanent Mission of Ireland, and they are one of the founding members of something that we're working on that is called Friends of Libraries at the United Nations. And so it's still not established, but we're working on it. And Ireland and Argentina are the two founding members together with librarians. We also had the Secretary General of the Nepalese Library Association, this person here. And we have leaders from ALA, from New York City. We were all talking about the Digital Compact, which is it's a mechanism, it's a kind of a concept that the UN is developing. The UN has said that the Sustainable Development Goals that I just mentioned are the what the world is going to use to achieve sustainability, development, to move forward. But technologies are the how this is going to be done. And so everything I have mentioned here, it goes more in depth, but we are running out of time, and I wanted to share these different concepts with you quickly, and you can maybe go back and research them. And these are pictures of librarians from different regions of the world that go to the UN, and this is at the high-level political forum last year. And sometimes some of us speak during the sessions of the UN and share projects from our countries, and it's all to advocate for libraries. And here we have some pictures. This is at the library, the first floor of the library at the UN. Here are some other pictures that I just wanted to show from over the years in different regions of the world that I have been fortunate to collaborate with. And Sub-Saharan Africa, for instance, this is from not too long ago, last year. Programs in different countries, in Namibia and Nigeria. And I think this was in Côte d'Ivoire here. And it's all, to celebrate and to observe international days related to information. In Asia, I wanted to highlight something that it is not a program, but it's a product. At this Nazarbayev University in Astana, they have this machine that it's still like a remnant from the pandemic, and you can clean your book. It's very interesting. You place your book in there, you close the door, you wait for like 50 seconds or 60 seconds, and the book is cleaned. And so I wanted to highlight this because we have different parts of the world are kind of like using different type of strategies in the libraries. And so whereas in Sub-Saharan Africa, they are very into collaborating with different international bodies and observing certain dates, which are very important. In some parts of Asia, I noticed that technology is very kind of the highlight in different libraries. The Middle East and North Africa, that's the MENA region. As I mentioned, they are very focused on preservation of cultural heritage because of the conflicts they are experiencing are really just destroying lots of different cultural sites. And if you come back to the this presentation, you will see the different themes and topics they are interested on. In Latin America, Caribbean, I wanted to highlight one library in Brazil. I was there last November, and it's a library that is really cool. It's in the middle of a park, and the neighbors of the library, literally next door, is a circus. And so my first love in libraries are public libraries, and I always learned that you serve your community. And this library is serving the community, and the community includes a circus, and the performers can use the outdoor space, this beautiful space that is part of the library, to rehearse if they have to. They not only rehearse dance or another movement they do, but they also rehearse their makeup, and this group here was rehearsing part of their makeup they use. It's just fascinating. I saw that when I visited them. And they also have the space is huge, very open, beautiful, and everything is on wheels because they can move it and have concerts and have different events in there. They also provide first aid and kind of like items for the community. These you can't tell, but you can unfold some of these, and they have other shelves in this room. You can unfold some of that and use it if you're going for an interview. And so it becomes a jacket or something. And they have shoes, and they have different things they provide for the community. And the different services reflect the diverse community they serve. And there is a thing in Sao Paulo, in Brazil, they have libraries part of parks. And so the one I mentioned here, this is the public library in Sao Paulo. This is the largest branch, and it's actually on a former jail. So the building was revamped. But they also have another kind of sister library in another part of Sao Paulo, and it's also in a park. And this is the view you have from the library. And this other part here, if you can see my cursor, all this is water. So it's like the Renaissance when the castle was surrounded by water, but in this case, the library. It's really cool. And the inside is just amazing, spectacular. It's very airy. They wanted to reflect part of the environment in the structures inside the library. And you can see this is another take. I took all these pictures. And they do have, I wanted to highlight, the other thing I wanted to highlight from here is they do have the most popular podcast in Brazil, and is produced at the public library, and is produced by women. And this is the study and kind of like the place that they use to produce that. It's really cool. I also wanted to highlight another thing from Latin America is that they have a medical library conference in Mar del Plata, which is the southernmost place in Argentina, in that region. And it's huge and it's very popular, and I wouldn't have thought about that until I was invited. So I wanted to highlight that medical librarianship is alive and very well in South America. The other piece I wanted to highlight from in Latin America, and it's because I am Latina, so I wanted to highlight that region a little bit more, is that unfortunately there are parts of Latin America like the Caribbean and like Puerto Rico and some of the islands that are every year receive hurricanes, and they are really badly damaged, and librarians have an opportunity to help them. And when I was president-elect of ALA, Puerto Rico had a really bad hurricane in 2017, Hurricane Maria, and it really destroyed many libraries and most of the power grid and the internet infrastructure. And as a president-elect, I merged powers with Reforma, which is the National Association to promote library and information services to Latinos and the Spanish speakers. And we visit the island, and this was really to raise funds. And I live stream many of my tours of libraries that were damaged, and also wrote an article for the ALA magazine. And we raised enough funds for librarians in the States to give many grants to libraries in Puerto Rico and also in Virgin Islands, which are both our territories of the United States, to help them rebuild their libraries. And we also, when I visit, also brought donations from publishing houses to the island. And so that's it. And I just provided a lot of information, but just highlighting some of the work I've done. There is much more that I can't just mention in a brief time, but it gives you an idea of the many things that librarians can do. There are many librarians that are doing what I'm doing. I'm probably the only one at this time, but it's really cool. I love what I do, and it's just opportunities that just just grab them when they happened. And I just happy to work with colleagues from around the world. I just returned from Croatia and Dubai from work with those libraries in those countries and library associations there. And now I'm sharing with you part of what I've done. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take them.
Thank you so much for that, Loida. I don't see any questions in the chat right now, but I do have one for you if you want to answer it. So if we maybe have any students who are interested in getting like involved in like international work or anything like that, do you know of like opportunities to get involved, or are there opportunities for students like to get involved with IFLA?
Yes. And I think I'm still sharing my screen. So
Yes.
we'll go to the IFLA has the
I think you have to close your slides now.
Okay, let's do that first. Yes. Okay. All right. Can you see that? Oops, what happened? All right. It seems that I closed everything. Let me just go back to this. Okay. So IFLA has the new professional special interest group, and it's all about students and new librarians, and anybody can participate. They are now on LinkedIn. You can join, just follow them on LinkedIn. You can follow them on Facebook or Instagram or X if you want to be there. And they have really cool kind of contests sometimes. Right now, I'm just trying to show you their page, and they have different things. But one thing that they did recently, let me see, maybe I can jump in here if there is a link here. Yeah. One thing they did recently, this was in, I think this was the one in Rotterdam. They do a camp, an IFLA camp every year, and it's for new librarians, and it's before the IFLA Congress. IFLA Congress every year is in a different country, but you don't have to be there in person. You can also collaborate with them in different ways. Recently, they sent a call for librarians to, it's not allowing me to continue, so I'll just stop. But recently, they sent a call for librarians to read the Little Prince in different languages. And then they did a collage and they posted on their YouTube channel. They also did a contest of videos to highlight libraries and librarianship. That was, I think it was last year. And the quality of the videos sent from different countries and around the world was just amazing. They have different Another thing they did a couple of years ago was a meme contest, and it was to celebrate librarians that are part of library associations. They are volunteers. Like here, you have this chapter, you are all volunteers if you are in the leadership of this chapter. And so many librarians from around the world created memes to celebrate this type of volunteers. It was around December 5th, which is the International Volunteer Day. And there were memes about libraries, and they are posted on Facebook and X. But they also do webinars about professional development. And they collaborate with IFLA management of library associations because they are under the sponsorship of MLAS, as we call it. And so they, for instance, we're going to have a webinar with the European region of IFLA next week. And part of the webinar, it's about international librarianship as well. I can send the link to Kat and she can share with you all. And so part of the webinar includes a breakout session, and the new professionals are going to run that session. It's only 15 or 20 minutes, but they developed a script. They developed the way they're going to interact with the attendees and the way they're going to compile information. They're going to use, I think, a Jamba board. And so they're very active, and they do their business meetings in different languages sometimes and in different time zones. I remember attending one in Spanish, one in English, but they also did a few in different languages. I think they did in Polish, French, German. I'm not sure if they did one of the languages in Asia, but they are very multicultural, multilingual, as people are when they're working internationally. You don't have to speak different languages, but you have to be sensitive to multilingualism, multiculturalism. That's very important.
That's perfect. Someone actually did have a question about that, so you answered that. I don't know if you have a little more time to answer one more question.
Yes,
but if
sure.
not, I want to be mindful of your time. Okay, so someone was curious, who pays for the trips for like you to attend different IFLA conferences around the globe?
Yes. Well, the IFLA congresses themselves, I pay for that as an individual. If you are part of the library, sometimes libraries pay that, but to my best understanding, not all libraries pay all your expenses to attend the IFLA Congress. They might give you the time to attend because you need to spend at least a week. The conference is a bit long, and if it's another country, you need time to travel. But the other trips I do, these are work trips, so whoever hires me pays for that.
Makes sense. All right, well, I don't think we have any other questions. So thank you again for your time tonight and sharing your experience and expertise with us. It was really great to hear everything you had to share. And I did record this session, so I'll be able to share everything with our participants and the people who weren't able to make it. So if there's anything else you want me to share with our participants, go ahead and just send it to me after the event, and I can share that with them. So thank you everyone for coming tonight. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this event, oh wait, I think we might have one more question. Unless I saw a raised hand just now. Okay. But yeah, this was ALASC's last event for the semester. And it was actually also my last event as events coordinator. I will be stepping into the chair position for the upcoming semester. So thank you everyone for, if I saw some familiar faces, so thank you if you've attended other ones of my events this semester. I really appreciate it. And I hope you all had a good night and learned something from this event and had fun seeing the different international libraries around the globe and a lot of the similarities. There's doing different things all across the globe, but there's also a lot of similarities in libraries across the world. So thank you, everyone, and good night.
Good night.
Thanks, everyone, for coming.